Realme 9 Pro review. Excellent battery life, user-friendly software and a sharp design. The Realme 9 Pro is a good all-round Android that won't hurt your wallet. Despite a sometimes inconsistent camera and OK performance, it provides excellent battery life, user-friendly software and a sharp design. Realme is back this year with its 9 series, which features 3 different smartphones, the 9i, 9 Pro and 9 Pro Plus. It's the middle chile on test in this review, looking at everything from the flashy design and 120Hz display to its 5000 mAh battery and solid performance. So, how does it compare to its siblings, as well as other smartphones in its price range? Let's find out. The Realme 9 Pro may be an affordable Android, but it punches above its price tag as far as its design goes. This is defined by a plastic rear with a scintillating light shift chameleon paint job, coming in either Aurora Green, Midnight Black or Sunrise Blue. What this means is that it changes color and tone when catching the light from different angles, creating a kind of phosphorescent sheen. Aside from the eye-catching rear, the Realme 9 Pro features an edge-to-edge 6.6 inches touchscreen with relatively narrow bezels and a punch-hole selfie camera in the top right of its display. Volume buttons are on the left-hand side of the phone while the power button cum fingerprint sensor is on the right. In contrast to iPhones and some more recent Androids, the phone thankfully carries a 3.5mm headphone jack, findable on the left-hand side of its bottom edge where you'll also find the USB-C port. The Realme 9 Pro measures in at 164 by 76 by 8.5mm, making it, counterintuitively, bigger than the Realme 9 Pro Plus, but smaller than something like the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus or the iPhone 13 Pro Max. It weighs 195 grams, so 13 grams heavier than the 9 Pro Plus. However, it's still noticeably lighter than many other devices in its bracket, and while it's a relatively large phone, it never once felt too cumbersome or ungainly in my medium-sized hands. The Realme 9 Pro uses a 6.6 inches display, with a 20:9 aspect ratio and a resolution of 2412 by 1080 pixels. Interestingly, the LCD IPS panel is in contrast to the Super AMOLED screens you can find on the Realme 9 and Realme 9 Pro Plus, though they are both 90 Hz. The Realme 9 Pro runs on a Qualcomm SM6375 Snapdragon 695 5G processor, a chip you'll also find on the Redmi Note 11 Pro, OnePlus Nord N25G and Poco X4 Pro 5G. Qualcomm used a 6nm manufacturing process for the 695, enabling it to fit more transistors into a smaller space, meaning it's faster than previous generations of chips that used 7nm and 8nm processes. The phone employs 6GB of RAM as standard, although my review unit benefited from 8GB, which will cost a bit extra, although 8GB appears to be the only option in the UK. It also offers 128GB of UFS 2.2 internal storage, with no option to have a slightly more expensive model with 256GB or 512GB of memory. Fortunately, you can find a micro SD card slot in the SIM card cavity, enabling users to save more files and apps. The Realme 9 Pro's benchmarks are fine for a phone in its price range, although they're hardly spectacular. A number of its rivals beat it in most categories, including the OnePlus Nord CE2 5G, Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G, and Poco X4 Pro. It is generally faster than the cheaper Redmi Note 11 though, as well as the Realme 9i, as you'd expect. The Realme 9 Pro's rear camera setup includes a 64MP main shooter with a f1.8 aperture, the popular Sony IMX766 we've seen on lots of phones, an 8MP ultrawide lens, and a 2MP macro lens. It also features a 16MP selfie camera with an f2.1 aperture on its front. This kind of triple lens setup is in line with much of the mid-range Android market right now, yet unfortunately the Realme 9 Pro doesn't quite keep up with most of its peers. While its 64MP main lens can take some very rich and colorful photos in good natural light, its quality tends to dip in almost all other conditions. The Realme 9 Pro's 5000 mAh battery is one of its biggest selling points, with the phone capable of surviving long stints without needing a recharge. Very light users can last 2 or 3 days without reaching 0% charge, while heavier users will easily make it through 24 hours before having to get the charger out. In the PCMark Work 3.0 battery test, the phone lasted a whopping 18 hours and 30 minutes, even with its display set to 120 Hz. This is largely thanks to that efficient 6nm Snapdragon chipset. In contrast to other affordable Androids like the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 range, the Realme 9 Pro operates on Android 12 right out of the box, with Realme UI 3.0 running over it. The latter isn't one of the most exciting Android skins available at the moment, but it does have the advantage of being simple to use, with a clear and uncluttered interface. The advantage of having a relatively straightforward operating system is that it tends to work smoothly, with little in the way of slow loading times or unresponsiveness. Everything is appreciably fast, from opening apps to changing settings. The Realme 9 Pro is available in the UK for £299, which gives you the version with 8GB of RAM as well as the standard 128GB of internal memory. In Europe, the 6GB version costs €319.99 from Realme, while the 8GB model goes for €349.99.